Hello, I think I am live now. It has been crazy trying to hook up to Facebook with the stream that I have going on. So hopefully we are live now. It says it is streaming. That is a good thing. So welcome, welcome. I hope you guys are doing well today on this Monday. Let me know. I have my phone up and let me know if you can hear me and let me know how you're doing today. If you are new to my page, please post a 1 below. If you are an oldie but goodie, you know the drill, post a 2 below. Everybody say hi. Let me know how your week is going. I'm trying not to let the frustration of going live and streaming and all this new activity that I have going on. I'm still learning as I go. So I'm with you guys. Hey, Rachel. So I have the tip of the week. Again, my name is Raven Woods. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks the IEP. And I help parents gain the knowledge and confidence to truly rock their IEP and honestly become the CEO of that meeting. So with that said, you had a rough day. No, I actually had a good and productive day. I'm getting ready to do a lot of webinars for you guys. So I'm kind of familiarizing myself with Webinar Jam and, really having fun with that. So those of you who are hopping on now, again, my name is Raven Woods. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks the IEP, and I help parents gain the knowledge and confidence to become the CEO of that meeting, their IEP, right? So today is the tip of the week. I do a tip of the week here on the page, and then on Thursday, I do the live content. That is the solid kit and caboodle, so to speak, enchilada, whatever you want to call it. Thursdays are the day to be here. Tips of the week are also awesome because it gives you advice as to how to pursue different things within the IEP process and the educational system. And we also build on different things and build each week. So it's a positive thing to come and learn. And then also, if you're not a member of the group, every Tuesday we do a live question and answer. So if you're not a member of the group, hop on over there if you're interested. So let's get going with today's tip of the week. The main tip that I want to talk to you about this week is having your weekly, let me start over because I have gotten a lot of messages from you guys. I've had multiple discovery calls this week, and a lot of things that I'm hearing over and over is you're not getting information from the school. They're not telling you things. They're not updating you on what's going on in your child's week, or it's been a couple weeks and they haven't mentioned anything to you as far as how your child's doing, or if they're having behavior issues. And then all of a sudden you get an email and it's kind of like, bam, okay, well, why didn't you tell me anything for the past 2 weeks? And then some of you are saying that you have it in your IEP that you're supposed to be getting notified each day of what's going on with your child, or some of you each week, and that they're not listening to that, and that they're not implementing what's in your child's IEP, which is to notify you, which honestly is law as well. They actually have to keep you posted more than they would a typical child, which is the norm for a typical child would be, each grading period when report cards come out, kind of thing, when you have a parent teacher meeting. Well, with special education kids, it has to be a little bit more because you have a lot more going on, and especially if you have an IEP. And so it's really important to have this paperwork together. So I wanted to kind of show you mine. I actually, I love the fact that I've had this put into my IEP, and I highly recommend each and every one of you to put these things into your child's IEP. Now, each child has a different IEP, and they're implemented in, different ways because it's everything that's needed for that specific child, and they're all different. But you can tweak everything in an IEP. So make sure that you take things lightly as far as what I have based off what I have is for my child. Now, what you get for your child can be the same, or it can be completely different, tweaked for your child. Okay. So don't think that you have to have exactly what somebody else has. I'm just giving you examples so that you can formulate in your brains what it is you need for your child, because again, it's all different. But here's the thing. Every week, anybody who has a child with special education, every week you want to receive some sort of information, okay? It could be they had a great week, but if your child is in services, for example, OT, PT, speech, dance therapy, reading, whatever it may be, these service providers should be letting you know what is going on with your child on a weekly basis. Okay, so let's start off with what I have on a weekly basis. So every week, really every day, but then every week they send it to me too. I have, which you guys have a copy of, and you can download it in the Educational Vault. Go to autismmamarocksiep.com, click on Educational Vault, and this is the communication sheet. So I'm going to show it to you, so hopefully you can see it. And basically it goes through ABA, math, language arts, science, social studies, and then the second page is lunch and related services. And then it has electives, and then it has check boxes. Okay. So again, go to my Educational Vault. You can download the communication sheet, weekly communication sheet. It's fabulous. I have everything in there for you. So you have mine, but then you also have one that you can tweak and edit yourself. Okay. So you can actually use it and then create whatever it is you need for your child, which is super cool. Okay, so then it actually has on there, if your child wears glasses, they have to check that your child went to school with glasses and came home with glasses. And then it has an area where they can comment. It also has an area on self-injury, non-compliance, cursing, yelling, repetitive questions, aggression, and other. And then it also talks about on task, completed work, follow directions, that sort of thing. Okay, so that is the daily communication sheet that you should actually have every day come home with your child, because then you're on top of what's going on with them every day. Did they have a behavior issue? Did they have a meltdown? What went on that day, so that you can keep on top of it and you can have a conversation with your child or whatever. So download the communication sheet, because you should have this for your child. And again, you get this one, the one I have, but you also get one that you can then edit yourself in a doc format. Okay. So every day you should get a communication sheet so you know what's going on with your child. On a weekly basis, my daughter also gets ABA. So if your child receives ABA in the school system, you want to make sure that you get a written out format like this. Okay. So it's on both sides. So it has each day, okay, that she has ABA, which is Monday through Friday. And then it says exactly in the box what she did that day. Okay. What she had trouble with. Did she have any meltdowns? All that kind of thing. So each week you should be receiving one of these. Okay. Now they email this to me. I just printed it out for you. Okay. I don't want the paperwork. So I actually have them email it to me, and then I save it either in a Google Doc or I save it in Dropbox. So those are two places that you want to save your information, because if something happens with your computer, you know that it's safe. So either a Google Doc that just has your child's name on it, and it could even be itemized. So you can have a Google Doc that says, weekly communication sheets. You can have a Google Doc that says IEPs, etc. Or you can have Dropbox, which is awesome too. And they're both able to be accessed by your phone as well. So if you ever had to pull it up in an IEP meeting or whatever, it's a great way to really hold your documentation and not have a crap load of paperwork everywhere. Now, you do want to print out your IEP so that you have it and, go through it in detail. But it's really smart. So here's the tip of the week, is not only to receive the paperwork on a weekly basis for your child, but to also keep all your paperwork in a safe file. Google Docs, Dropbox are amazing. Okay. Google Docs is free. Dropbox is free unless you need a lot more space. And then it's like $9 a month. Okay. So that's awesome. So the next thing is my daughter, which if you have older children, functional living is a huge thing to put into their IEP. So if you have a child middle school to high school, functional living should 100% be in your child's IEP. So if you have a child that is older, go to my educational vault. You can download the functional living worksheet, and it's the same thing as the communication worksheet as far as you get the functional living worksheet and then that I use, and then you get one that you can actually edit and format for yourself and in the areas that your child actually has different things that they have going on in functional living. Like I know my daughter, she is meticulous about making her bed now, and they're doing cooking and all that kind of stuff. So I'll go through with you real quick. So it's somewhat so every week they send me the week ahead of time. So every Friday they send me what she's going to be doing the following week. Does that make sense? And then every Friday they send me an explanation of what she did that week, the previous week. Okay. So for example, this is what they send me. All right. And the ABA specialists are amazing, the BCBA. So I'll answer you guys' questions in just a few minutes. Okay. So, Monday, she was selecting a recipe, identifying expiration dates, determining the cost of items, and recycling. All this is daily living things. And so Tuesday, she was Swiffering, and she had food safety in the kitchen, alphabetizing products, creating a shopping list based off ingredients, and making a bed. So these are the things she worked on this week. So each week she has 5 hours on functional living, which she's middle school, so she's 8th grade. So, it's something super important for your kids to have. So again, just to repeat, the daily communication sheet is in the vault. You can download it. The functional living communication sheet, which is this one, is in the vault. You can download it. And then you can request, if they're in functional living, for them to send you what they're going to be doing a week ahead of time. So the Friday before that week, they can send you, okay, your child's going to be working on this. And this keeps you up to date with what's going on. So not only is my tip of the week, keep organized in Google Docs or Dropbox, but also to make sure that you know what's going on with your child every day. Okay. And then there's no communication issues. And if an issue pops up, for example, on the communication sheet, I'll look at it and there's certain times where things may be alarming to me. I'll give you an example. Skylar, she will take a toy if she sees any toy. It doesn't matter where it is, at any place. It could be in someone's bag and she sees it, not like a purse, but like a bag. She'll just go take the toy. She doesn't know that that would be called stealing in our world, right? So she just thought, hey, there's a toy. I'm going to go get the toy, right? So they actually put in her communication sheet, because she went and took a toy, I think it was another child's toy, that she stole the toy. She didn't steal the toy because she didn't even know what stealing means. So I actually addressed that. She put the toy back. They had her put the toy back. But not only does she need to be corrected that you don't do that, however, they can't put on a communication sheet that she stole something, which is illegal, by the way, and that she doesn't even understand what that means. Do you know what I mean? So you have to correct them in the verbiage that they may use that is harsh. So I said, did she really steal something, or did she just take a toy and then you had to correct her and have her put it back? That was something she needed to learn. So there's certain things that will kind of pique your interest that you need to put a stop to, or have them change their wording or whatever, because it's important that they know where you're at and that you're reading these things. And if there's anything that's concerning, you can immediately email and say, hey, what happened with this? Why did he have a meltdown? What caused the meltdown, or whatever? Okay. So the communication and functional living are super important because you know what's going on. Then if your child's an ABA, again, a whole write out of Monday through Friday of what they did in ABA. Okay. Because a lot of our kids do get ABA. My daughter gets 2 hours of ABA after school every day. So I want to know what's going on and what they're doing. And again, each of the service providers should be emailing you each week of what's going on with your child and what they worked on that week. And I'll tell you a cool thing about this too, is it actually enables you to collect data and what your child is doing. So you have all this paperwork, then you go into the IEP and you can bring it with you. You can highlight things that you discussed. You can highlight things that they worked on, for example, in ABA, and compare that to goals. So all this type of paperwork that's so important that you're going to put into a Google Doc or Dropbox and keep it safe. And always have them email you these things. All these things are emailed to me. I just print them out for you to see. I actually could have shared my screen and showed you as well, but I just wanted you to see that not only should you be saving your stuff in a safe place, but I also want you to receive information on your child each and every week. So don't come back to me and call me and say, hey, Raven, I'm not getting this information. They're not giving it to me. You're going to now provide them with a communication sheet that you're requesting that them fill out. Okay. And then you can also request an IEP just to talk about the communication sheet and that it needs to be filled out. And the special education teacher or one-on-ones, they cannot deny filling out a communication sheet. I suggest the person that works with your child be the one who fill it out. If a variety of people work with your child, then they all should contribute to what is done with your child and who is working with your child at that time. You can even have service providers write in your daily communication sheet. I prefer the email, which is in my IEP, but you can actually, say it's okay for them to put whatever it is that they did into the daily communication sheet, and you may be okay with that. So, and that's fine. That's totally fine. And just make sure that they email it to you each and every day. The communication sheet that I get it physically every day, but the functional living, the ABA, what she's working on each week. Another thing that I get is what she's working on in her core subjects. So they'll say, content area science, and then they'll talk about what she's working on. So she's working on ecosystems. In history, she's working on different things in reference to the Constitution in the United States. So I like to be up to date on what exactly my child's working on so I can compare things to goals. And as you get used to being on top of what your child is working on all the time, then you're able to navigate that IEP process when it comes to goals, because we're going to be getting there in our conversations in reference to content. And goals is a huge, huge, huge area that a lot of parents don't really look at or know what to look at or how to change it. Okay, so you may look at your child's goals and you see that they seem fine, or it says 70% and this, that, and the other, but it can get very confusing. And you need to know that you actually can bump those goals up and you can change them and tweak them. They can't just put the goals down on paper and you just have to say, okay. Absolutely not. That's not how it works. You get to choose certain goals for your child, and you can open yourself up to hearing what they have to say as well. But if you're like me and you've been going to different IEPs every single year, several times a year, you get to know exactly what your child's doing. And you're able to say, no, my child worked on that last year. And also always have your IEPs side by side, your 2017 next year, 2018, your 2018 next year, 2019, so to speak, because you're able to look at those goals together and make sure they're not the same, okay? That your child's mastering them. But this paperwork is, again, a building block to what we're building towards, which is for you to nail your IEP. And preparing, which we talk a lot about, the hunt and gather, which we talk a lot about, and also getting prepared and organized and everything in certain places. I'm totally OCD. I itemize everything. So even in my closet, sweaters are with sweaters, pants are with pants. So in your Google Docs or your Dropbox, you'll have a folder that says IEPs. You'll have a folder that says assessments and evaluations. You'll have a folder in reference to communication sheets. All these types of things are so important. So you keep them in order and always keep things like you do your taxes, 3 to 5 years. Okay. So you can't go back anyway and make a state complaint past a year. So you want to keep things up to 3 years typically, because you want to be able to compare goals and make sure that things have been mastered and that your child's not regressing and that sort of thing. So that's the main reason. But as far as like a complaint or them being non-compliant, you can only go back a year. So remember that, okay? So that's the tip of the week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Again, if you're just dropping on, make sure you listen to this. We went through a lot of stuff, the functional living, the communication sheets, and you can download them in the educational vault, and they're amazing to have. And again, you get the one I have, but then you get one that you can tweak and make your own. So if your child's in different services, then you're able to tweak it and make it appropriate for your child. The cool thing about the communication sheet though too, is it has all those things you want to know. So it has self-injury, it has cursing, it has yelling, it has repetitive questions, it has aggression, it has other, so they can write in if there's something else. It has appropriate behavior during, it has other behaviors during, it has an area where they can just write what your child did or what they worked on. It has an area in reference to what it is they're in. So if it's science, math, history, PE, whatever. Okay. So they're able to you're able to really navigate how your child's day was, and there's no questions. And if there is, you just send an email. The other cool thing that I have for my daughter is it's kind of like a body form, and every day it comes home. So basically what that is did the child have like a scratch or a mark on them or whatever? Because several years ago, I had some issues where she was coming home with marks on her body every day, and I could not have that. And then when I would say, hey, what happened? They couldn't answer. And so we came up with this form where there's a body, and then it says, like today she had a small scratch on her cheek. Okay. So then they sign it, and I'm able to get it every day, you know? And so all these forms are so important, and it's going to limit all the things that you're asking for, because when I spoke to 15 people this week, and I would say half of them said, they're not telling me this, they're not telling me that, they're telling me about my child's behavior a month later, you know, all these things. So these things that I do that took me time to learn that I needed to have is something that you can implement right now. Okay. So that it'll take down your overwhelm, take down your stress, and really help you focus on more important things than wondering every day what your child's doing or how their behavior was. And then also stop that surprise of a month or two down the road or your next IEP, and they're blasting you with, oh, your child did this, 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 and this. And you're like having no clue, which is not cool at all. So hopefully this helps you guys. And this tip of the week was awesome. Again, post a 1 below if you're new, a 2 and who you are and where you're from, and a 2 below if you're oldie but goodie, just say hi. And if you're not part of the group, every Tuesday we do a live question and answer, which is awesome because I'm able to answer a lot of your questions. And then by doing that, it answers a lot of other people's questions because many of you have the same types of questions. But it also gives us the time to have some dialogue, which is super nice. And other parents help other parents too, which is what the group is all about, is helping each other and really focusing on our kids and the educational system. So thank you for being with me today. I apologize for being late and all my technical issues. I'm going to get it straight. But then again, with technology today, things happen, right? So join me again tomorrow, and I'm going to now ask some questions. Thank you so much for all the thumbs up, and I appreciate all y'all's support, and I hope that I deliver all the good information about IEPs and the educational system to you. I've learned so much, not just in trainings. You know, I'm a person that, like, I would hire somebody who had more hands-on experience than educational experience. Now, I do have both, but I think it's so much more important to have been in the trenches than someone who has not and just has the educational experience. So we're in this together. I've been where you are, and I learn stuff every single day. So again, thank you. So let me sit here and go through some of your questions, and then I'm going to jump off here because this is supposed to be short and sweet, but you guys know me, I can talk. And when I get into this IEP stuff, I get all like gung-ho and crazy because I'm so freaking passionate about it that I just can't help myself. So then I talk longer than I should, and then I go back downstairs. My husband's like, I thought you were going to be 10 minutes, and it's lots of fun. Okay, so all right. Hi, Eve. How are you? Rachel, tell me about your day. I downloaded it, but it was not able to edit it. Okay, we'll get you the editable one. What is the website? If somebody wants to put that in, they can, but it's autismmamarockstheiep.com. Super simple, just my name, autismmamarockstheiep.com. Click on Educational Vault, okay? So, yes. Mark, you're welcome. So again, autismmamarockstheiep.com, Educational Vault. You are so welcome, Fayana. Alicia, thank you. Welcome. How do I make sure that my son get the right goals? I often get the reply that I'm not the whole team, and there's so many school professionals on the team compared to. That's so stupid. So what I'll do a content on goals. Gosh, goals is a big one because there's so much technicality in it. So the biggest thing when I go over goals with a parent is I'll share my screen and they'll have already sent me their child's IEP. And I ask for the last 2 years so that I can compare them and see them side by side. And so I'll print it out and go through it with a highlighter. And then I also have it side by side on my computer on 2 separate windows. And I literally go through it with the parent. And we look at the goals from the year before, we look at the goals now, and we compare them literally step by step. And then I'm able to ask the parent. So Rachel, if you want to set something up with me, I'd love to go over the stuff with you. But basically what I would do is I would go through with you side by side, and we'd talk about what we should ask more for, what we should put in there, what percentages. I never go underneath 90%. Don't tell me my child's going to get it 70% of the time. No, if they master something, it's going to be at least 90%. So if a goal's going in there, it's at 90% always on my child's IEP. Now you can do something different, which is fine, but I'm big on if it's mastered, 90% or more. I also am big on quarterly IEPs, like you guys know. And then I'm also big on the fact that they not put in there, like they'll say something like, your child will master, or your goal is to do da 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 at 70% on 3 separate trials or 3 separate occasions. That'll say different things like that. I don't allow that put in there either. So it's at 90% on 5 or more occasions with multiple people. So if something's mastered, as you know, then you can do it. So you can do it with me, you can do it with you, you can do it with the neighbor, you can do it with the grandmother, you can do it with the aunt, the uncle, the brother, etc. 90% of the time. So if all those people, your child mastered a goal, 90% of all those people, they should have it right. Okay. So you have to change the way goals look, because school systems will change things to work for them, not so much your child. So if you want your child to continue to learn and progress and move forward, then you need to make those goals attainable, but masterable in the sense that they are mastered, and that the school has to work harder to have your child master those goals. Don't be afraid to make the school work harder. That is their job. Okay. So hopefully I answered your question. So I have one file for each drive. Okay, good, Rachel. All right. So we are good for today. And thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Take care. Bye.